Okay, I'm only kidding. But if you got to wear one, you might as well wear one you like, mightn't you really? This is from my merchandise store. If you're lost for a mask to wear, then why not go and check it out? But I quite like it. I think it works out really well. And merge into the logo. I don't know what that was about. Don't ask me. I think I'm losing the plot. Anyway, welcome to Season 1, Episode 3 of Mighty Moron. Me probably being the Mighty Moron, but that's okay. Welcome along. So I was going to bring you back a bit further on when we played Mighty in the league, but I've decided to come back slightly earlier just because I want to continue to develop how we're playing, and I think I want to keep you up to date with that a bit more regularly than maybe what I was thinking originally, because there are a couple of little changes that we've made. So today we are playing Independiente Rivadavia, I think it is, in the Primera B Nacional in Argentina. So let's get into this episode and see how we get on. So, welcome to episode 3 of Mighty Moron in the first season. Things are going fantastically well in the league. You can see we're currently sitting in 8th position, considering we were due to be bottom of the table, bottom of the pile in the whole double division that is in the second tier of Argentinian football. We're doing pretty well. It's based around 5 big draws and 3 wins, getting 14 points so far. Of course, we could get dragged back down again if we don't continue in that vein. But if I finished anywhere 14th, 15th this season and not 16th, I will happily take it. So sitting in 8th gives us a real sound base to work from as we progress through this season. Now, as I suggested, we're coming back slightly earlier than I thought. Originally, we were coming back for this game against Mighty in the Primera B Nacional Group A match at the end of November before we have a summer break. That will be the next episode's game. But we've come back slightly earlier, having played Cologne in the cup competition and got resoundingly beaten, really. We've since been pretty good. And part of the reason for that is a slight change in mentality. I came out of the back end of this game and just felt a little bit disappointed in this run that we'd had before. Obviously, we got a win there, but other than that, it was a little bit of a disappointing run. And I just kind of came to the conclusion in my other series, if you watched yesterday's episode of my Manchester City series at the moment in Rolling in the Isles, I came to the conclusion that I was kind of holding back a little bit and had the shackles on my sides, and they become really hard to beat and quite structured, and they get some good results in terms of the points that we get, but they're not quite exciting enough and quite attacking enough. And my natural instinct as a manager is to be quite defensive and quite structured. And in my Man City save, that was getting some decent results in terms of the points, but not really entertaining the fans as much as I wanted it to be. We were actually I was forgetting that I was Man City. And so I wanted to up the attacking options in that particular series. And it got me thinking about this one too. Now, the simple reality is we are supposed to finish bottom of the table. That is where we are predicted to finish. And at the moment, we are sitting in 8th. So the good run of form that we've had, as much as it is obviously doing us the world of good, because we're sitting halfway up the table, which is fantastic. But the fact that I changed my way of doing things in my Man City series made me just question what I was doing here. If we go and have a look at the schedule and the recent fixtures since that Cologne match, you can see we won 2-1, drew 2 big games in terms of high scoring games, 3 apiece in each of them, and then a good 4-0 win against a Platense. And so this is what the result of changing to a much more attacking scenario has been. And in a second, we'll go into the tactics page and properly unpack that. But this is what I was looking for. This is the sort of run of form that I was hoping that a change in upping the attacking qualities of this side would get us. Because before it was just a little bit dull. And I was getting a little bit bored of watching some of these performances. Too many 0-0s or we don't score in the games. And I just thought, if we're due to finish bottom and we're not there currently, so we've got a little bit of wriggle room to play with now, why not just give it a go and open up the floodgates a little bit? Yes, we're going to concede a bucket load, I'm sure, but occasionally we're going to score loads as well. And occasionally we're going to get beat 4 or 5-0 probably by some of the big sides in the division, but we're not supposed to beat them anyway, so we might as well just give it a go. And so that's what I've decided to do. We're going to give this a proper go and be as attacking minded as we can while still trying to get good results and not just being silly for the sake of it, and trying to find the Mighty Moron that is amongst this particular group of players in terms of the club becoming bigger. So let's go and check out what we've actually changed in terms of the way that we play. So immediately on this attacking page, on this tactics page, not a huge amount has changed. We stay in the same shape. I think it works for what we've got, but the very, very big thing is this one here. The mentality was sitting on cautious for quite a while and the intensity wasn't in our play. So what I did after the Cologne game was switch it straight away to very attacking. I thought, why hang about? Let's just chuck it out there and see how it did. And you saw how it did in the schedule. We got 2 wins, 2 draws in the last 4 matches having played it. So I think that's been fantastic. And the other thing that we've changed, we haven't changed much of this structure yet, but we probably will do over the next few games. A bit like I said in my Man City game yesterday, I don't want to change everything too quickly all at the same time, but we're going to change bit by bit and continue to move forward whilst not losing the things that were working for us. But the second thing that I discovered that I didn't discover it, I kind of figured it out myself, that if we're going attacking and if we're going to go and have a go at this division, then why not bring at least 1 or 2 of our youngsters into this group of players that are not particularly brilliant, let's just be honest. I mean, this guy here, for example, Juan Yark, is 21 years old, but there's not a huge amount about him, is there? Loads of gaps all over the place. So if this is what you're competing with, you might as well bring a youngster, an even sort of younger youngster, into this central midfield area and give them a chance to develop playing with better players. And this is what we've done, specifically with this guy, Chalky. Now, Chalky is a bit of an interesting name for an Argentinian player. Well, the simple reality is I've changed the name because I have a new Patreon system. And one of the tiers of Patreon is that you can get yourself into one of my series. And somebody's done that. And Chalky is the result of that. So we now have one of my Patreons in the game as a 16-year-old, now 17. He's just had a birthday. Now, looking at him, you can see that he's quite similar in terms of there's a couple of gaps around the place. But what I really like is, 1, he's so young, and 2, great determination, great natural fitness, great acceleration, and some really good technique and work rate and vision. And I think there's a decent player in here, potentially. And if we can give him some play time now, then we could potentially develop a very, very good young talent. Now, I can't do it with all of the youngsters in my squad, should I say, because that would unsettle the balance of the whole squad. And if other Patreons come in and take this opportunity to become a person in the game, I can't guarantee that I would do this with them all either. Some of them would have to sit in the youth setup and develop through there to get to where they want to be. But just on this occasion, I felt like if we're going to change this up and we're going to have a go at this league, why not bring a good youngster up to have a go with? And the other reason I did it was that this guy was the only real proper youngster in my under-20s, which is my lowest side down other than any youth candidates. He was the only one that fit the age profile. Most of these are like 19, 20 years old and a bit further on in their development and not quite with exactly the potential I was looking for. So that's why I've brought Chalky into the first team squad. He's already played a couple of games to be honest, not set the world alight at all. He's played twice and come on as 2 subs, got a 6.45 average rating, which isn't fantastic, but look at the players around him. They're all on a much of a muchness, really. Another central midfield player that's played a little bit is Nizo, and he's got a 6.6 average rating. We've got Avila, who's also a central midfielder, who's got a 6.6 average rating. So it's not started too badly for Chalky, considering that he is behind the development of everybody else. So he's going to sit in and around the sub bench and come on occasionally and feature here and there, and we'll just see if we can develop a player in this first season whilst having a go at the league, maybe more so than we thought we were going to. When I first started this particular series, I hadn't got a clue about this squad or this league or anything, so I didn't know how we were going to do, but so far it's going better than I first thought it would. Now today, obviously, we come up against Independiente Rivadavia. I'm getting the hang of it. That's who we come up against today, and they are currently, if we go to the league table, they are currently sitting, where are they? I can't find them. It's always the way with me. I'm so well-meaning, and then I can't find them when I get in there. There they are, in 4th position. Finally found them. So they are in advance of us this season. We sit in 8th, and they're probably supposed to be around there, and we're not supposed to be around here. So I've built this whole change of philosophy up so much that we're going to get absolutely annihilated in this particular match, 5-0 probably, but it won't stop me doing this. This is what I want to do with this side. I want to give it a go, at least in this division. If we get a chance to move up into the next division, into the highest division, we might have to restructure it a bit to find a way to secure our place there for a while, but then at some point we will go again, hopefully with this sort of scenario. So all of that means that we are going to change up the system bit by bit over the next few weeks. We are going to make this even more attacking in terms of how we set this up and the roles that we offer out and the style of play. Remember, we haven't changed any of these instructions yet, and I will be doing that at some point. But just for now, we've changed up the style of play. We've brought in a decent possible youngster in terms of his prospects, and we've got a couple of others in and around the squad that are in their sort of late teens, early 20s. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to see if we can build this club up. And all of that means that we're going to get thumped today, probably. But let's see if we can be positive about it and get a decent performance out of this side. So, for the game against Rivadavia today, we have gone with Salva in goal because Galvin is out for a couple of weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, with a twisted ankle. It's one of a couple of injuries we've had. Basida's just coming back, so he's partly fit. And then the last one that we've got is Alessio. He's coming back from a knock as well, but hasn't got any match sharpness yet. So we've had a couple of recent injuries, but the goalkeeper is the main one. And so we have to put Salva in goal today and see how he gets on. But in front of him, he'll have Gomez and Corvo in central defence, with Brogy on the right, Olivier on the left, with Lilo, Cranvita, Godoy, D'Angelo in central midfield, with Ramirez on the right and Chieri up top. And there's a couple of nicknames that I'm going to be instilling into this group, so I'm just going to change that whilst I think about it. So the first nicknames have been put in, and we've got Good Boy instead of Godoy, just because it was a good mention in the comments below in one of the videos from Agent 25. So thank you for that one. So we've changed him to Good Boy. The next one is D'Angelo has changed to The Angel, and the last one is Chieri is cherry on top. He's going to be the cherry on top of our team that is our cake, and hopefully get the goals for us if we can be more attacking and give him more opportunities to do so. So there we are. That's the team for today. That's the structure of play that we've gone through. You can see who's going to be on the bench for this particular game. We've changed a couple of the team player names for some nicknames just to make them more personal to us. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So we have to admit that we're still underdogs in a lot of these games because of who we are. And on this occasion, we are underdogs as well. So the team talk I've gone with is just calmly to say, good luck, lads. Go out there and pull off an upset and see whether we can find a way to get anything away from home. We're going full bore at them. It could completely fall flat on its face, but you've seen recently it's been working. So let's see if we can get a good performance out of the guys today. Away from home is a bit more tricky though, isn't it? So there's a long goal kick into our defensive area. They maintain possession, which is a little bit disappointing. But there is the closing down of a player. Unfortunately, the Angel had a little nibble but couldn't quite get the ball from him. And they maintain possession at the top of the penalty box, sweep it wide left. But Brogy had a chance to intercept, does just about. And then we go over the top for Cherry on top. Can he put it away? He can't. The goalkeeper gets good hands on it, parries it for a corner kick. But a good chuck over the top, wasn't it, for him to run onto. And you can see the attacking intent. Corner comes in, but it was a very disappointing one. We'll have to fine-tune some of our set-piece tactics as well as we move through this particular series. But so far, it's looking pretty good. Another chance down the left-hand side. It's cleared very, very well, though. But we give it straight back to them. That's going to be the pattern of play in this division, I think, a lot, isn't it? They'll give it away to us occasionally. We'll give it away to them. Somebody will make an error. Eventually, somebody will take their chance. And they didn't quite manage it on that occasion. And the goalkeeper dived, but it went wide of the post. Corner comes into the near post. We get it partially cleared. Who's on the end of it, though? And it's Navas for them, for Rivadavia. But he produces a very poor ball, and Good Boy picks it up. And eventually we work it up the pitch a little bit. The Angel over the top again to Cranvita into the box. And he doesn't quite manage to beat the goalkeeper, who eventually gets has help from his defence, and they clear the ball. But this is the style of play I was looking for. A little bit more exciting, more interesting. They've had 4 shots at goal, 1 on target. We've had 3 and 3 on target. We've got to find a way to break the deadlock, though. Unfortunately, they could also. And they've made it to the far post. And they have. I felt that just as the free kick was being taken, that this is likely the point where they were going to take a lead, and they did. A decent cross to the far post. It was partially headed out, but it fell straight to an attacking player, and he gets a bit of a deflection on the shot as well, which is unfortunate, and they go 1-0 up, fairly close to half-time. Can we pull it back before half-time? Cranvita with the ball, back out wide right to Brogy, having taken the throw-in. Lillo onto the Angel put it through to Cherry on top, and he's getting more and more opportunities, which is great, but he hasn't quite taken them yet. Maybe this is a game for Ackerman late in the game to come in and take that shot that in a slightly more got more quality up front, maybe, but just hasn't got the legs anymore to play a 90 minutes. But maybe it's a game for him later on, we'll see. But so far, I must say, for a team that's sitting in 4th and we're in 8th and we should be right at the bottom, I think we're doing okay. Obviously we're 1-0 down, which is disappointing, but I won't have a go at them for that. We'll passionately say we're not doing badly. If everyone continues to work hard, we'll win this. I don't even necessarily believe it, but we've got to find a way to make them believe it. So passionately we'll go and say, I believe you've got what it takes, and just try and boost their confidence even more to go out into this second half and properly give this a good go. And that's made a couple of them happy, which is fantastic. Immediately into the second half, we're going to the shouts and demand more from them. Just get them even more motivated and see whether we can carve out a couple more chances. We've had 3 shots and 3 on target, so they are there for us if we can get through again. You can see that in the second half, though, Rivadavia have taken more shots than us. But so far haven't been able to break the deadlock in the second half. That was a poor goal kick, and Ramirez wins it and eventually puts it through to Cranvita, crosses it in, and there's the Angel with an equalising goal, the support player in attacking midfield role, supporting the striker. And when we got on a really good break down the right hand side, made a run into the box. Cherry on top, you can see, just sitting slightly deeper at that point to get involved in play, and it's the Angel that comes into the box first. And a very lovely finish by him, very calmly done. when the goalkeeper was over the other side of the goal, slotted it home very nicely. And we've taken a 1-1 draw so far. 15 minutes to go. Time to make a couple of substitutions. Cherry on top. We talked about bringing Ackerman on. We're going to do it. Can his quality show for us in the last part of this particular game? Olivier, 6.3 average rating. Not good enough. So Mayola comes in for him in that fullback position. And then why not? Let's bring on the youngster, Chalky. He might as well play. Why not? Kranvita comes out for him because that's the role that he plays, the Metzala down that right-hand side. So we'll bring Chalky on and see if he can have an impact on this game and just continue his development. We've got a good player in there. We're going to do everything that we can to try and get the most out of him. Ramirez with a long sweeping free kick, but it's partially cleared and they get a chance to counter on us. And we are a little bit low in numbers at the back here. We have been done for the numbers. They've got right the way through, but a good stop by Salva. And then we completely clear the ball into the stands. So good defensive work when we got caught out. Good goalkeeping, good save by the goalkeeper. And then we booted it clear. But they come back at us down that right-hand side. There's some space. And they found the space on the left-hand side. We've squeezed ourselves too narrow. I'm going to elongate that out, I think, and give us a bit more of a breadth across the defensive line to try and stop that from happening so much. Because it's happened a couple of times recently. You can see that we're all so focused in the central defensive area, and that's partly because we were being cautious before, remember, and trying to be hard to beat and problematic in that sense. But now we're opening ourselves up a little bit. We're going to have to open up the structure of our defence. 2-1 down. We're in the period of injury time at the end of the second half. Can we get a last gasp equaliser and pick up another draw, which has been what we've been building our success on? Over the top to Ackerman, and he had the chance and he couldn't quite take it, and the goalkeeper smothers it. And that's going to be it. We lost the game, but there's an awful lot of positives in there, I would suggest, in terms of how we played, how we competed with a higher up side in the division, and how this new attacking style of play is coming about. Look, 6 shots. Oh, I won't do that now. We'll go into the analysis page and we'll have a look at it properly there. Calm myself down, Kev. It's absolutely okay. But we're doing pretty well. I'm excited by how this season is going so far. It might not look anything particularly special at the moment, but considering what we were supposed to be doing, I think we're doing pretty well. Let's go and check out the analysis page. So the heat map suggests that they had some very, very good possession of the ball, which you would kind of expect, really. We didn't have as much of it ourselves, but we still had those six shots at goal. That's difficult to say. And they were all on target, which is great. We could, of course, over time, find a way to get us a little bit more of the ball in this particular setup. But just at the moment, it's not about the quantity of possession. It's about what we do with it when we've got it. And you can see that we had a reasonable spread over the action zones. In terms of our attacking prowess, we went primarily through the centre of the pitch, which is fine. We've got that diamond in the centre of the pitch, which really helps us. But I'm surprised by the lack of the right-hand side. Considering we're only playing a fullback down the left, you would imagine we'd go slightly more veered towards the right. And maybe that's something that, again, we're going to have to put into the instructions to make us play in that sort of area and then support on the left-hand side rather than use it as one of our main attacking routes to goal. But again, these are the things that we're going to find as we look through the analysis setup to see where we can improve. I'm really happy with the 50%. Bit surprised by the wide play in terms of what we chose to do. Let's go into the teams and we'll take a look at our shots, specifically the ones that were off target, hit the woodwork. There weren't any that hit the woodwork, and the saved and blocked shots. And we'll just click it onto our ones just to see how we got on. And you can see that it was mainly through Cherry on top, who had the shots at goal, 2 of them over this right-hand side, couldn't quite convert them. On another day, though, this guy is going to score goals. I'm sure he is. And then that last-ditch effort by Ackerman was so unfortunate in the last few minutes of the game. He had a couple of chances and didn't quite manage it. Then we had the long shot from Good Boy sitting in that supporting role. And one more here by Cranvit, who got through on goal and didn't quite manage to take the opportunity to score a goal. But that's not a bad spread of decent attempts. We just need to find our way to get a couple of goals and probably fill our boots a little bit like we've been doing recently, and just get the confidence up of these attacking players to convert the shots at goal. Which other of these things would you like to have a look through when we go through the analysis page after every game? What sort of stats are you interested in seeing? We'll check in with some of these as we go and see, just how we are doing. And so we can look here at all the different challenges that we made. That's a great spread for our fullback Brogy, isn't it? At the right side of our defence. He's done fantastically well over there on that occasion. A good half a dozen really good interceptions by him. So that's something to really think about and praise as we move forward. But yeah, I think it was a brilliant performance in a way. We didn't get the result. We didn't get the 3 points. Absolutely, of course we didn't. But ultimately, I think we did pretty well against a slightly higher up opposition. And again, let's go and have a look at just the Club Moron ones and see where we put our shots. And one sailing over the top of the bar by Ackerman was a bit wayward. But other than that, the shots that we had all really challenged the goalkeeper, didn't they? That's part of what we saw in this summary of shots at goal 6, shots on target 6. Quite how you get shots on target that look like that, I'm not sure. Maybe it was on target and the goalkeeper pushed it over the top. Who knows? But it's a little bit odd, isn't it? Anyway, that's just one of those random things that you see occasionally. But overall, I think I can be pretty happy with the way this side played today, even if we didn't get the points. As I say, let me know what you're interested in checking out in the analysis page, and we'll continue to develop this section of the episode over time. But overall, today, I'm pretty happy. So let's go and check out what we're coming back for next episode. So again, we're back on the schedule page, and to be honest, we already know what we're coming back for, don't we? We're coming back for this final game of the calendar year of 2019 with Mitre in the Primera B Nacional Group A match. And that's going to lead us into a big, long winter break for the Argentinian game, which is going to be interesting. We'll see whether we can do any January transfer window activity. Some free transfers in and out probably is the best we could do. We'll have to wait and see. And then after that, we'll come back in at the early part of February and just check in with what we've got going. So that's what's going to happen in the next couple of episodes. But next time, it'll be Mitre at the very end of November. So I hope you'll join me for that. Thank you for joining me today. I'm kind of excited about this series. I'm really enjoying finding out about Argentinian football and finding out about Club Deportivo Moron and seeing what we can do with them and seeing if we can make them into the mighty that we all hope we will. But yeah, thanks for joining me today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and join my United City community, the more the merrier. If you haven't clicked that like button for me, I know we lost, but click it anyway, just for the sake of it. Helps me out, helps me get seen by lots of other people, which is great for the channel. Until next time though, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.